Today is all about the ocean, specifically whales and dolphins. But how does one identify a whale from a dolphin? That's a good question. Well, luckily, there are some behavioral features to identify the whales from the dolphins. Dolphins are highly social animals. Typically, dolphins hang about in groups or properly named pods. They tend to each other's needs by hunting for food and playing with each other when necessary. Whales tend to be more solitary, grouping in shared feeding grounds while also grouping together for when they breed. But that is not all. There is also some physical features that you can use to identify a whale from a dolphin. Whales will have two massive holes on the back of its head, which it uses to breathe, while dolphins only have one special hole located at an angle at the top of their head, which they also use to breathe. But what is it exactly that these citations consume? Now, it really depends on where they live, but typically they will devour small prey items such as krill and other zooplankton, sometimes even small fish, by straining the helpless creatures out of the water. But where is it that these murderers live? Some dolphin species prefer to live in the coastal areas, unlike others that prefer to live in shallow water, which is located further out to sea. Now, some whale species travel the high seas far from land, and can be found in both the Arctic and Antarctic. These citations distribute worldwide to tropical waters and polar regions, and they are most likely the most abundant citations on the planet. Australia actually has a whale sanctuary located in South Australia, which has the purpose of providing protection for whales within Australian waters. Now, you are only permitted to travel at a constant slow speed within 300 meters of whales or dolphins, and you are definitely not allowed to get closer than 150 meters if there are cows. Humans used to hunt whales for thousands of years and kill millions. You can go whale watching at Sydney and Nelson Bay, but the rules for speed and how close you can get still apply. The whale watching industry attracts thousands of tourists every year to coastal town. Now, the citations' strengths are high intelligence, complex social behavior, and the enormous size of some of the group's members. They are weak and vulnerable to broad-scale changes in the marine environment because of their high positions in marine food chains, and they lack hind limbs. The opportunities are they modify habitats in a way that increases species richness and habitat productivity. The threats are climate change and toxic contamination. In conclusion, save the whales.